Hello everyone, I'm Nini FC and this is Blue Line TV, and today I'm bringing you guys the Predict That 11 video for our upcoming game against Southampton this Saturday. And as I always say, if you haven't pressed the bell notification button, please press that and stay notified to all things Blue Lines TV. Now getting straight into the Predict That 11 video. Starting with the goalkeeper, and that is Courtois. He seemed very frustrated that the team did concede a goal against Huddersfield. Of course, goalkeepers do pride themselves on the amount of clean sheets they can keep, and it was really out of Courtois' hands, so he was justifiably angry. There's been some interesting debates surrounding Courtois. A lot of pros especially really rate him highly, and a lot of them really put him up as one of the top 3 goalkeepers in the world, but it seems that fans aren't necessarily always giving him the praise that Courtois should be getting. Now moving on to the back 3, starting with the right hand side. I see Azpilicueta playing, and Azpi really didn't have any defensive duties against the game against Huddersfield, and really it was more about what you could do with the ball. Now it was good to see how many touches that the back 3 had, because to me that tells me that we were building the attacks out from the back, and when we couldn't find solutions breaking down Huddersfield, instead of just forcing the play through the middle, we passed it back and restarted our attacks. Moving on to the middle of the back 3, and I see Christensen obviously starting in the team, and it was quite telling to see that Conte actually subbed Christensen off with 10 minutes to go in the game to bring on Ampadu, and it really goes to show just how vital he has become for the team, because as I keep stressing, the most important defender in the back 3 is the guy who plays in the middle of the back 3. They mop up the danger, they have to have a great reading and understanding of the game, they have to be able to be comfortable in possession, because normally they are the last line in defence, and normally the ball is played back to them when they are in very uncomfortable situations, so they really need to be good on the ball and very composed. And Christensen has really shown that. I did know that Chelsea did release a mini documentary regarding Christensen, and Gary Cahill himself stated that, well, there really is nothing to teach the guy or anything to tell him. That's how much of a top class player that Christensen is. Moving on to the left hand side, and I see Gary Cahill coming back into the team. It will be quite disappointing to see that Rudiger hasn't regained his place in the team, because I feel that Rudiger really adds to our possession play because he has the ability to spray a pass. Now, how often have we seen Rudiger spray balls out to Moses or to Alonso, and having someone comfortable on the ball and very good at using the ball out from the back is a real facet and really adds something to the team. Moving on to the wing backs, starting with Marcos Alonso. Now Alonso did put in a good performance against Huddersfield Town. It was very easy for him because with the movement of the front 3, it really was exposing Huddersfield and stretching them, giving the wing backs the amount of freedom and time to really get up there and really push up into the final third. And anytime they put crosses in, they had plenty of time to put in good balls, and Alonso really did take advantage of that. I know there's a stat that came out saying that Alonso has contributed the most in terms of assists and goals since he made his debut compared to any other defender in the Premier League. Credit to him, I guess, but at the same time that doesn't detract from some very uninspired performances throughout his time at Chelsea. Moving on to right wing back, and I do see Victor Moses coming back into the team, and it's good to see how many people are finally starting to praise Victor Moses, and it really took Zappacosta's signing for us for fans to really compare the two. Moses has the ability to play by himself on the right hand side. He doesn't lose the ball in the final third. His delivery in the final third I think is decent, it is good, it isn't as poor as people make it out to be, and I feel that because he's able to keep the ball and keep possession and he really links up the play effectively, he really adds to our possession play. Now moving on to the midfield 2. Kante will be playing in this game, and I think that with Kante especially, when it comes to certain teams that don't necessarily keep the ball as much, we really see more of his possession play. Now with Kante, it isn't his job to really create something, even though I think that he has got better at that this season. He is taking more responsibility with his vertical passes. And as I keep stressing, Kante improves and upgrades any single team, and he walks into any team in the world. Now moving on to Kante's partner, and I do see Cesc Fabregas regaining his place in the team. I know that Bakayoko was decent against Huddersfield Town, but I really feel that Conte did use Bakayoko because he was using a false line up front with 3 attacking players, and he did want to have some type of stability in midfield. Still though, against Huddersfield Town, I would say that we did miss Cesc Fabregas because he's the only one that really finds some of the front 3 players' movement, plus he does play those vertical passes that really do create something for the team. Too often against Huddersfield Town, even though we did play with patience like I did say I did want to see, too often it was very horizontal and it was very uninspired at times. It was really only Eden Hazard who was the only one really creating anything for the team. And I do feel that a team without Cesc Fabregas really is an uninspired team at times. I really feel that he does add a lot to the team, and it's going to be good to see him playing again against Southampton. Now moving on to the front three, starting with the left hand sides. And I see Eden Hazard of course starting in this game, and Hazard really did put in a top class performance against Huddersfield Town. Did I think it was one of his best ever performances? No, but Hazard is at such an elite level. He really does make everything look so easy. The amount of backheel passes he was playing and flicks and lyrics, and his ability to hold people off, I really think that's one of his most understated abilities. He's a very strong player with a very good low centre of gravity. Against Huddersfield, Hazard did have to play more of a creator style of role. He was dropping deeper, he was creating space for Willian and Pedro to move into, and he was moving out wide at times to stretch Huddersfield even more. It was a shame that he didn't have many efforts on goal, as I like to see, but him moving out wide hopefully should mean that he will be playing closer to goal against a striking partner who will be Alvaro Morata. Now Morata was left out against Huddersfield Town. He has had an illness recently. That was why maybe his form against West Ham wasn't to his normal standards, but I feel that he will be fit enough for the game against Southampton. And Morata really does complement the front three because he does really add to them, because he does have that ability to drop deeper, plus we have that aerial presence that we don't necessarily have. Fans have been critical of him in regards to his finishing, but as I've kept stressing, Morata's finishing has never been elite. I think he can get to that level in the next year or two, so I really do think that patience is required. And finishing things off, starting with the right hand side, I do feel that Willian will be playing in this game because recently his form has been decent. I felt that against Huddersfield Town, he did put in a very good performance. I've started to notice that Conte is letting the front three players rotate a bit more, especially with the left hand side and the right hand side, and I really feel that, as I keep stressing, when I see Willian cutting inside on the left, that's when he's at his most dangerous, because he has the ability to cut inside and take shots on goal, and he's very good at doing that. What I liked about the Huddersfield game as well was that Willian was playing closer to the front three. He wasn't as isolated outside on the right, and I think that was why he was looking even more impressive, and I'm hoping that against Southampton he will be playing closer towards Hazard and Morata. Now that's the lineup that I see Conte picking against Southampton. Now I'm going to tell you guys what lineup I would use against them. I've gone for something different, and I have gone for a 3-5-2. I watched the Southampton game against Leicester City, and Southampton really struggled to deal with any threat that was focused down the middle. Leicester easily could have beaten them by more than 4 goals in that game, and there was so much space between the defence and the midfields. Southampton are normally better at defending out wide than in the middle, and I feel that if we do play a bit more attacking with this formation, we can create a lot of overloads against them. Now watching how Leicester did dominate against Southampton, it did get me thinking, why can't we see some of the tactical tweaks that Claude Puel has used at Leicester City? Now I'm talking about Riyad Mahrez, and Riyad Mahrez is playing in a midfield 3, and by Mahrez playing centrally, he is getting more space and freedom to really play in the areas that he's really dangerous and effective in, plus he's very hard to mark. Now we do have Fabregas in this role, but sometimes I think, why can't we experiment with Willian centrally? Because I've always felt that Willian playing central, he is a much more effective player where he has the ability to really collect the ball from deeper positions and drive it forward. He can make those late runs in the box, and he can play closer to the goal when he needs to. It's no surprise to me why Riyad Mahrez is looking like a player of the month candidate, and it's that type of tactical innovation that I would like to see Conte using. Now for my team, I've gone for Rudiger on the left. I really feel that Rudiger's distribution really does add to the team offensively, plus he's very confident when playing those searching balls. With Rudiger's ability to pass up from the back, he's able to find the wing backs much more quicker compared to Gary Cahill. I've kept the wing backs the same, but in midfield I've gone for something pretty different. I was gonna go for Drinkwater, but I'm not sure if he's fit enough just yet. So my midfield 3 is Kante, Bakayoko and Willian. I've gone for Bakayoko because even though he was decent against Huddersfield Town, I think that it would be good for him to maybe start another consecutive game to really build some confidence and really get used to the type of role that Conte wants him to play in. I've left Fabregas up because Fabregas has played so many games already this season, and I feel that it would be good for him to have a bit of rest and maybe come on sometime in the second half. And I've gone for something crazy. I've gone for Willian in the midfield 3. As I stated, when I saw Willian against Huddersfield Town, he was collecting the ball in more central positions and he was playing closer to goal, and I think that's when you see the best Willian. You see the best Willian when he's out on the left or in the middle. Willian doesn't have the off-the-ball movement that he needs on the right-hand side to really be as effective as he can be, and I was really inspired by how Riyad Mahrez has been used for Leicester City, and I think that Willian could really add something if he was using a midfield three. I think with Willian playing in a central position as well, we can change the system from a 3-5-2 to a 3-4-3 when we need to, and that type of tactical flexibility can never be a bad thing in my opinion. Anyway, you guys, that's my team lineup for the game against Southampton. What do you think? I've gone for a really out there and different type of team, but it's just my personal opinion, and I've been really inspired by seeing how Leicester City have used their own 3-5-1-1 system. Anyway, you guys, that's going to end the video. Please like, comment and subscribe, and if you haven't pressed the bell notification button, please press it. And also, there's a community tab on YouTube. I do post on there at times, and I'm going to be posting more frequently because I'm going to be using that place to do polls and really interact with you guys, so you guys definitely stay tuned and look at that. But anyway, you guys, thank you for watching today's video. I'm CWANless, this is Blue Lines TV, signing out.